My name is Ava, and until last week, I thought my family's love was unconditional. I was in the middle of making tea when Mom called my name from the living room. Her voice wasn't angry, but it wasn't warm either. It had that careful tone she used when she was about to say something I wouldn't like. I dried my hands and walked in. She was sitting on the edge of the couch, her hands folded in her lap, eyes fixed on a spot on the carpet. "Sit down, Claire," she said softly. Something in my chest tightened. I sat. She looked at me for a moment before speaking. "Next week is just special, and you being there would ruin that." I blinked at her, sure I'd misheard. "What?" Her shoulders rose and fell in a slow sigh. "It's better if you don't come." "To what?" She avoided my eyes. "The dinner. The family dinner. A family dinner next week." I hadn't even known there was one, and now apparently I was already uninvited. "Why would my being there ruin it?" I asked, my voice shaking. She hesitated, then gave me a smile that wasn't a smile. "It's complicated. I just think it's best for everyone." Everyone. The word stung. My mind went spinning back through the years. All the dinners I had been too busy to be invited to, the group photos where I was missing, the family events I only found out about from Facebook posts. But this time, she wasn't pretending I'd been accidentally left out. She was saying it, to my face. "Who's going to be there?" Her fingers tapped against her knee. "Your father, your grandparents, some extended family." Extended family was Mom's code for people she didn't want drama in front of. I leaned back. Drama meaning me. She flinched. "Claire, you know things have been tense since the wedding." The wedding. Of course. A year ago, my brother Ethan had married a woman named Vanessa, a woman who, just 2 years earlier, had been my best friend. We'd been inseparable since high school. Sleepovers, secret crushes, late-night study sessions. She was like my sister. Until the night I found her kissing Ethan at a house party. She swore it had just happened and begged me not to hate her. But then she ghosted me completely, and 6 months later, posted a picture of herself with Ethan, captioned, "Found my forever." The betrayal was one thing. But when my parents told me they were so happy for Ethan and Vanessa and hoped I could be mature about it, I realized where their loyalty lay. I went to the wedding because Mom begged me to keep the peace. I didn't make a scene. I smiled for photos. I toasted the happy couple. But inside, something broke. Now, sitting in the living room, I realized exactly why I wasn't welcome next week. "Is this about Vanessa?" I asked quietly. Mom didn't answer right away. Then she said, "She'll be there, and she's pregnant. They're announcing it at the dinner." The words hit like a physical blow. Pregnant. I didn't even know they wanted kids, and now they were going to celebrate, with me nowhere near to ruin the moment. "You think I'd, what? Stand up and scream?" I asked, my voice bitter. "I think," she said carefully, "that you might find it hard to hide how you feel, and this is supposed to be a joyful occasion." Joyful for them, she meant. I stood up. "You know what? Don't worry. I won't come. I wouldn't want to ruin anything." Her eyes softened, but she didn't stop me as I walked out. That night, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling. It wasn't about the dinner anymore. It was about years of being the one who had to keep the peace, even when I was the one who'd been hurt. When Ethan broke my favorite necklace as a kid, I was told to let it go. When Vanessa ditched me for him, I was told to be happy for them. And now, when they were starting a family, I was told to stay away. I realized I had spent my whole life shrinking myself to fit into a family picture where I clearly didn't belong. A few days later, I ran into my grandmother at the grocery store. She smiled and asked, Are you excited for the dinner? I forced a smile. I'm not going. Her brow furrowed. Why not? I hesitated, then said, Mom thought it would be better. Grandma's eyes darkened. Better for who? I shrugged. Everyone, apparently. She put a hand on my arm. Sweetheart, if you don't go because you don't want to, that's one thing. But if you don't go because someone told you not to, that's another. Her words stayed with me all week. The night of the dinner, I sat in my apartment with a mug of tea, trying not to think about what was happening across town. I pictured them laughing, clinking glasses, hugging over the news of the baby. I imagined Mom smiling at Vanessa the way she used to smile at me. Around 9, my phone buzzed. It was a photo from my cousin. Everyone gathered around Ethan and Vanessa, who were holding up a tiny pair of baby shoes. Mom's arm was around Vanessa. There was an empty chair at the edge of the table, the one I would have been in. I put my phone face down and sat there feeling strangely calm. Later that night, my grandmother called. I missed you tonight, she said. I missed you too, I replied. You know, she said gently, families can make mistakes, big ones, and sometimes they don't realize it until much later. But you don't have to keep proving your worth to people who don't see it. I felt a lump in my throat. Thanks, Grandma. It's been 6 months since that dinner. I haven't spoken to Vanessa. I talk to Ethan only when necessary. My relationship with Mom is complicated, but I've stopped trying to earn my place at their table. I've started making my own, inviting friends, neighbors, and people who actually want me there. And here's the thing. Sometimes not being invited is the best gift you can get, because it shows you exactly where you stand and where you deserve to be.